Hello. Is this phone number by any chance Henry's wife's number? You go by Sandy, right? Hello? Do you have any idea what's happened with Henry? As far as I'm aware, Henry went to a class reunion for one of his classes back in middle school, right? So he's gone back to his hometown for it. Well, I happen to be one of his longtime friends and was in the same class as him in middle school. You can call me Emily. It's a really cute name, right? Your name is Emily? Well, I guess it's cute. But to be honest with you, I know hundreds of Emilys, and I'm not really sure the name itself is that cute. What a buzzkill! So, Emily, when are you going to get on with telling me why you're wanting to talk with me right now? Huh? I'm going to assume that you are talking to me right now because you took my phone number from his phone and copied it into yours. I happen to know Henry pretty well, and I'm sure he wouldn't just be handing out my information to you and ask you to text me. So can you please just tell me why you want to talk? For some reason, I'm getting a bad vibe from you. Well, whatever. I'll tell you what I want from you right now then. And it's nothing that I really want from you, but rather what I want to tell you about me. I've gone and taken your husband home from the class reunion. Huh? What are you going on about? You have no idea. In other words, I'm having a little after party with him in this hotel room. That's all. Huh? Listen to this. At first, I was looking to take a completely different man away from that reunion to make my lover, you know? But that dick was with another old fart of a woman, and when I came over to talk to him, she began to bark in my face. Ugh. At that point, I was about to give up and thought me going to that reunion was going to be completely pointless. But as I was thinking that, I turned to see my old friend Henry. All that nasty skin he had on his face before, covered in all these little red pimples, had cleared right up and he was looking sexy. And as for those stupid little round glasses that he was wearing before, they'd been replaced by a stylish pair of brown J-bands. And his choice of clothing? Oh, perfect. Totally stylish. I knew this would be my only chance to see him, and so I made him my new target and started my hunt. And within a few hours, I had him in my grasp coming to this hotel with me. And during that time, did you know about the fact that Henry is married? I knew that, and I learned about it while bringing him to the hotel room. Actually, I've known about the fact that he's been married for a while now, as I still talk to his parents every so often. Anyway, I haven't seen Henry in over 7 years because he and I are just never around one another. And anytime I'm talking to his mom or dad, he's not in town. So you've done all of this while knowing he's married? I really wanted him to be with me, so I had no other choice. When I told him that he's my first love, he began to cry about how much he wanted to treat me nicely and hugged me as we walked to the hotel. And why are you telling me all of this now? Knowing very well that I'm his wife and that I have been married to him for a while now. You know why I'm telling you about this. There's only one thing I'd want, and that's for you and Henry to get a divorce. And then you can hand him over to me so that I can have him forever. You want me to give him to you? You already stole him from me. How could I hand something over to you, or someone, when you've already gone and stole them from me? I just told you, though. He's always loved me, and even though I told him he's my first love, he came out and said he had this huge crush on me back in school. In other words, that means he and I are meant for one another. And that also means that he's always been mine, so I didn't steal him from you. Now that we've run into one another again, and I'm with him now, I'd like you to give him back. So hurry up and get that divorce so I can have him. I guess if he's always had that crush on you, then he was never mine to begin with. So I get what you're wanting to say here. Now, I never really knew about how he looked back in the day, but these days Henry is doing pretty good for himself. He happens to work for a very large company that is partners with other companies all over the globe. I'm sure you already knew about that, though, as well. And about how he's expected to be bringing in around $100,000 a year now with his job. Well, of course, all of that only adds to how amazing he is. And that's why I'm in love with him. And he's in love with me because I'm cute and precious to him. No mistaking that. So, that means he has no need for you anymore. As long as you go through with a divorce, then everything about him will come to me, and I can finally have my man. So hurry it up and get that divorce, please. I'll give you an answer to that after I've had a conversation with Henry about all of this. He said he'd be coming home tomorrow, so I'll sit him down and have a talk with him. Please let him know that, since you're actually right there with him. Will do. But I already know that Henry wants this divorce, so no matter what you try to do, he's going to leave. Henry, right about now you should be back home from your hometown, right? Where are you?
I'm at Emily's apartment.
Is that right? So it's true then? That you ended up running into your old friend from middle school that you always had a crush on and she took you to a hotel last night?
I'm sorry.
So I can take this as you saying you want to get a divorce then?
Yeah.
You have anything else to say to me? Anything at all?
Well, when it comes to you, Sandy, you really are an amazing woman. You say that you can do anything and everything on your own, and that's no lie. You really are able to do everything. So, for myself, well, you happen to support me with both my work and with my private life equally. I'm totally thankful that you've always been there for me helping out, and I want you to know that, but when it comes to the person who knows me best and knows how to please me the most, I'd have to say it's Emily. Also, when it came to her, she has always been in love with me ever since middle school. And, she just confessed that to me yesterday at the class reunion.
I see. So the reason you and her ended up being in that hotel room yesterday and why you're over at her apartment now is because you both have liked each other since middle school?
So, I want you to know that whether it was back in middle school or even now, I've always been thinking about Emily, and have always wanted her to be my wife.
All right, I understand. But just because of that reasoning, I don't think we can get a divorce.
Why not?
Even if you and her ended up having a wonderful night with one another, this is a good example of you being unfaithful to me. So I can't just have this settled with a simple divorce. I'm going to make sure I have you and her pay your dues to me through settlements for this, and I'd like to tell both my parents about this, and yours.
Well, actually, I was planning on doing the same thing.
One other thing. Since the both of us are working for the same company in the same office, I'm going to have to report what's happened to us to my manager. And I think you should be doing the same then.
That's right.
I think that you should be prepared to have a lot of people giving you the side eye and things like that after they hear about what you've done.
I guess there's no helping any of that, is there? All right.
Now I'm going to get myself a lawyer and we will sit down and discuss what needs to be done and go through all the paperwork. Once I've had time to talk with my lawyer about all of this and about the money that I can get from both you and Emily, then I'll go ahead and contact you again. Along with that, I'll hand in the divorce paperwork to the courthouse.
All right.
Sandy, thank you so much for getting that divorce with Henry. And by the way, I only just found out about this a little bit ago, but you happen to be 6 years older than Henry, and you work in a higher position than him with that company? That's right. I first met him when he joined the company, as I was in charge of training him, and after some time we grew closer to one another and got married. Well then, you're aware that he's in a much better place now being with someone like me rather than with some old fart like you. And as for yourself, now that you've been divorced by a younger man, that pretty much means that that's it for you, and you'll never be with another man again, right? But don't worry, I'll make sure that Henry is very happy with me and that you are kept up to date on that. Just make sure you don't get super jealous of us, all right? I'm not going to mind you sending me a text about how you feel as though you've come out on top over me. But shouldn't you be a bit more concerned about what's been going on with him? Huh? Oh, no way. Are you going to try and say to me that you know more about Henry than his longtime friend does? Well, I'm sorry, Sandy. I just got home from handing in our marriage papers to the courthouse with him, so this pretty much means game over for you. You've barely even been around him recently, and you're already jumping to marriage? You both haven't seen one another for 7 years, and you thought it was all right to just marry him like that? Are you both going to be okay? I feel like you two should have at least taken a bit more time to get to know one another again. Come on now. You're not going to ever get him back from me, so stop holding on to these feelings. Your time is up, you old fart. He's thrown you away for a much more cute and young girl, and he'd never turn around and go back to you. Hello? What do you want now? What the hell is going on here? What do you mean by here? I'm talking about Henry. What is all of this? Why the hell is this happening? Can you explain what's going on there in a little more detail? Why is he sleeping in so much? His alarm had gone off 4 times before he finally got up and started getting ready for work, and he didn't even bother to wash his face or shave. His hair is still a mess from the pillow, and he's just going to head to work like that? Also, why the hell is he farting so much all the dang time? And when it comes to his work clothes, he just takes them off and leaves them on the floor. Same thing goes for his dishes. He doesn't even bother to turn off the lights either when he leaves a room. And after using the bathroom, he doesn't flush the toilet. And what's worse than any of this? He doesn't even have a good sense of fashion. What the hell happened to the man I saw at the middle school reunion a while ago? Oh no, this is all happening a lot quicker than I was expecting. Huh? What do you mean? He already had problems when in the house with me, never having manners that you'd think an adult his age should have. But at work, he tends to be just as bad, never wearing proper clothing for the job and always farting really loudly in his cubicle. I'm going to assume that he never took his clothing chart with him over to your place, or that he isn't even bothering to look at it anymore now that he's with you. His clothing chart? It's this whole grid that tells him what shirts go with what pants and about what ties to wear and what jackets. What? Was that all written down inside that sketchbook he had brought along with him to my place? That's the one. I'm sure you already know about how much of a slob he is when it comes to his manners, since you've known him far longer than I have. But he's especially bad when it comes to his sense of fashion, and that's why we had a chart made up for him. I made this whole chart for him that would tell him what clothes to go with what and what days to wear that set on. What? So then, that means that the man I saw at the reunion... You always said it like he had done that by himself, but in reality, I was the one that got him dressed up like that and made him look more appealing. What the hell? You are more than welcome to use that chart with him to maintain a good look on him that otherwise he will never create by himself alone. But I threw it away. Really? Anything that I thought had to do with you, I threw in the trash can outside. And that includes the clothing chart you made for him, along with some of the clothing I thought you bought for him. All right then, so you're saying that you no longer have any of the things that helped him look as good as he once did. Sandy, please, can you please get Henry back to the handsome-looking man he was before he came over to my apartment? Well, that happens to be your job now, since you are his wife and all. As you had told me before, you happen to know him way better than I do, having been around him since middle school, and so I'm sure you'd be far better at helping him out than I am. Right? Well, about that, can I at least have you buy him a few more sets of clothing and make up another clothing chart? That's not going to happen. Why not? I am not going to take care of the man who ran off with another girl who asked me to divorce him after. I'm no longer related to anything that has to do with him, but I know someone who is, and that's you, Emily. And another thing, 2 weeks ago I made the choice to transfer. Transfer? Recently I was promoted from department manager into a regional manager, and so I have a change of responsibilities now. So you were moved to a different location? Yep. I'm very thankful for that as well. Thankful for the divorce, I mean. Because I no longer had to be married to Henry, I was free to do as I pleased, which includes moving to another town. What? So because I'm no longer working in the same office building, I've moved out of that town and am about 2.5-hour drive away. And because I'm now a regional manager, I have even less time to worry about what's going on in the lives of two strangers. No way. The way Henry is right now, if he doesn't change, I'm not going to be happy. Well, if that's the case, then he might need his new wife to start working on some strategies that'll help him get back to the man she loved him as. Good luck with that. A few days after that, due to no longer having me around to support his bad habits, Henry started to have a lot of problems with HR at work due to his poor style and manners. And only a few days after he had been talked to by HR, he and Emily got a divorce. Apparently, the only way the divorce worked out was because Emily had to force him into signing the papers, after he had cried and cried about how he couldn't live without her. Due to the reality that the girl he had always loved since middle school turned her back on him and kicked him out of her life, only a little bit after getting married, Henry has gotten very depressed. And because of this, he never left his place and soon lost his job. When it comes to Emily, she wasn't working at the time she took Henry from me, and so after kicking him out, she no longer had the money to pay her rent, and ran back home to her parents looking for help. But they both told her to get out of their faces as they had disowned her not too long ago. She was last seen running away from her hometown for good, and ever since then, nobody has heard a thing about her.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Yolande, excuse me, but there's something I need to discuss with you. All the things from my locker, they've been thrown out all over the corridor floor. Why would you do such a thing?
Huh? I don't know about any of that. This has nothing to do with me. Why the heck are you accusing me?
Because I went to security and had them check the surveillance cam footage. I saw you and your 3 buddies taking all the stuff from my locker. You're not worming your way out of this. I have the evidence.
If you must know, I did it because you were using the lockers without permission. You're not allowed to have a locker.
Huh? Why not? The department manager said it was okay for me to use the lockers if I wanted to.
You might not know this because you've still only been at this company for 3 days, but temps aren't allowed to use the lockers. Didn't you see? It's written on the door in big bold letters. Employee use lockers.
Sure, you're right, it does say that. So where are you suggesting I put my things while I'm at work?
I don't know. I don't give a crap about temp workers like you, so I certainly don't give a crap about your things. Not my problem. Why don't you leave your stuff outside in the car park or something?
Outside? Also about my things, it's almost definitely because you and your friends threw them all out in the corridor. But my wristwatch and my second pair of backup glasses are broken.
Not my problem. This is what you get for buying cheap, easily broken junk. Oopsie, what am I saying? Obviously, the kind of low IQ, brain-dead moron who works as an agency temp is never going to be able to afford high-quality, luxury goods that don't break as soon as the wind blows on them. I guess junk is all you can afford. But you should have thought about that when you broke the company rules.
You go on about rules, but there's nothing like that written in the terms and conditions of my employment contract. And no one told me anything about not being able to use lockers. To the contrary, like I just told you, our head of department actually told me I could use them.
God, do you ever shut up? There are such things as unspoken rules, you know. Are you too brain dead to know even that? How many years have you been working now?
Sure, I know things like unspoken rules exist, but even if for the sake of argument we accept that I did unknowingly break one, I don't think I deserve to have my personal belongings destroyed in a revenge attack. Not only that, but you even stole something. Don't you think you took this too far?
Huh? I didn't steal a thing. Lies.
Do you want me to keep repeating myself? Like I said, I saw the surveillance footage. You put my bracelet in your pocket, didn't you?
You call that theft? How rude. I just decided to look after it for you. It would have been careless of me to leave it lying around in a corridor.
Why would you only take the bracelet but be more than happy to leave the rest of my valuables lying around? No matter which way you look at it, your behavior makes no sense.
Gah! You're so annoying. Nag, 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 nag. Shut up already. A filthy temp worker like you has no right to speak to me like this. I'm a full-time employee at this company, you hear me? Full-time! If you don't shut your annoying mouth right now, I might just forget to give you your bracelet back. Is that what you want?
That's theft. Give me it back immediately.
You got some nerve. You do well to not make me angry, bitch. If you do, you'll regret it. Do I make myself clear?
Yolande, would you mind explaining what the hell you think you're doing?
Oh, back for more whining, are we? What are you crying about this time?
Don't play dumb with me. I saw you running away. What gives you the right to pour a bucket of water over my head in the corridor like that? Not only that, but it was full to the brim and ice cold. I'm soaking wet though, thanks to you, idiot.
Oh, are you sure? That's such a shame. That's what you get for breaking the rules. Maybe now you'll be more careful in the future. I know you tried to use a staff cafeteria today. Don't you dare use the staff cafeteria, you filthy temp. How many times do I have to tell you?
But Yolande, you didn't mention anything about the cafeteria until yesterday.
No, actually, I told you at least 10 times by now. You just forgot because you're a moron with the memory of a goldfish. I already told you that when staff only is written in big bold letters, that means it's for staff only. Will it go in this time? Will the pea-brained moron with an IQ lower than my unborn baby nephew's age finally understand? Are you so dumb you can't even follow basic instructions? It would be tragic if it wasn't so hilarious.
That's funny. You see, the department manager told me I was allowed to use the staff cafeteria.
He was just being polite. He didn't mean it. Don't ever try to go in there again, do you hear me? It's against the rules. If filthy temp scum start coming into the staff cafeteria, I'll lose my appetite because of the smell. If an ugly cave troll who smells like last week's leftovers like you enters my field of vision, it'll make me want to throw up.
What does that have to do with pouring an ice-cold bucket of water over my head?
Well, you see, you're such a smelly, low IQ moron. I very kindly went out of my way to give you your first wash in years. I thought maybe you'd be smart enough to see the connection between that and your egregious wool breaking in the staff cafeteria. But obviously not. The only solution for a smelly moron like you is a cold water bucket bath. So that's why, dummy.
That doesn't justify what you did. Luckily, I had a change of clothes available. But just because I went into the staff cafeteria doesn't give you any right to pour a bucket of water over my head. And if you think it does, you're deranged and need professional help. Anyway, something tells me that's not the only reason. Are you sure this wasn't revenge? Because I refused to make those presentation slides for you when you tried forcing an entire week's worth of your work on me in the office before lunch?
Why did you bother asking me why I did it if you already knew the answer? Does this mean you'll do the slides now? I had to ask someone else to do it because you said no, but I lost valuable time that I'll never get back thanks to your selfishness.
Yolande, you were asking me to do your job. The only responsible for doing your job is you. Stop trying to force it on others like it's your inalienable natural right.
Unlike filthy temp scum like you, I'm actually busy. I have a bunch of things to keep on top of, and I didn't have time to make that dumb presentation. And besides, when we have low IQ temp morons like you around, why shouldn't I make use of them?
How can you claim to be busy when I saw you slacking off in the staff room with your lackeys? You slack off on your responsibilities and try forcing them onto others. Instead of doing your job, you spend all of your time harassing the new temp. What's the point of you even working at this company?
Wow, you're the cockiest, most arrogant piece of crap I've ever met. It looks like you still didn't learn your lesson, huh? Should I get another bucket ready? I bet you don't have a third change of clothes. If you don't want to go home soaking wet through like sorry-ass sewer rat, then I suggest you shut your annoying mouth.
You're so deranged and devoid of reason, I can only conclude there's nothing to be gained from any further discussion with you. If I were you, I'd stop behaving so arrogantly. You might end up regretting it very soon.
Oh, what's this? Is the sore loser threatening me? A low IQ temp worker trying to act cool and imposing? Now I've seen it all. This is hilarious. Hey, guess what, bitch? I left some extra work on your desk. I want all those presentation slides, plus the quality reports and the formatting on the NDA agreements done by tomorrow morning. You know what that means? Overtime. Congrats, Violet. You better not go home until every last piece of that work is done, or they'll be hell to pay. Do I make myself clear? This is a direct order from an actual employee of this company. Ooh, what's this? I hear you're quitting the company. The department manager just told me.
Yep. Today's my last day and I'll be leaving for good at the end of my shift. You really have been a big help to me during my short stay here, Yolande. Thank you so much for everything.
I can't believe you got fired within a month of being dispatched here. This is so funny, I can't stop laughing. My stomach literally hurts. It must be so hard for pea-brain temps like you to get along in the world. I almost feel bad for you. Almost. I'll tell you what though, Violet. I'm gonna feel so relieved to see the back of you. I can't wait. I may throw a little party to celebrate the occasion. Me and the girls. A bottle of champagne. And plenty of laughs at your expense. Good luck getting a full-time contract somewhere before you kill yourself due to the shame of your endless failures. I doubt there's any company that desperate, though.
That's fine, Yolande. I appreciate the thought, but you don't have to worry about me one bit. I'm already a full-time employee after all. I'm also much higher up than you.
Huh? What the heck? You're a filthy temp worm, higher than me?
I work for our parent company.
Huh?
You see, your company has a worryingly high turnover rate for young and temporary workers. It got pulled up recently during an investigation at the parent company. I'm part of the investigation team that got sent down to your office to figure out why so many people are quitting within their first couple of weeks there. Obviously, I had to keep it a secret because everyone would be on their best behavior if they knew they were under observation. But having the element of secrecy on my side helped me to get to the bottom of why so many people are leaving much faster than I expected.
Huh? What? An investigation? I don't know what the heck any of this means. You're from the parent company? You?
Yes, that's right. If you don't believe me, you're free to make an inquiry. All information regarding my dispatch will be public record soon enough. Basically, Yolande, my work here is done. And to tell you the truth, thanks to you, I got done way quicker than I expected to. I'm going back to my usual job at the parent company tomorrow.
No. Wait just a second. What the hell's a turnover rate investigation? I've never heard of that before. And why did you get your job done quickly thanks to me? I don't understand.
During my short time as an investigative operative here, I was able to ascertain that the reason the young and temporary employees were quitting the company in droves was because of you and some others who associate with you at the company. We're bullying them so relentlessly that they didn't want to work here anymore. I was also a target of your malicious attacks in the form of having work that wasn't mine forced on me, having a bucket of water poured over my head, theft, and plain old verbal abuse. I could go on, but I think you get the picture. I have been making routine reports to my superior at the parent company, but tomorrow I'll be submitting a comprehensive dossier of all harassment received during my time here.
What? Whoa. A comprehensive dossier? Does it mean I'll get in trouble? Wait a second, no. You can't do this.
After my submission of the dossier to the disciplinary team, I presume there'll be all sorts of things they'll need you to work with them on. So allow us to extend our things in advance for your understanding and cooperation.
No, you can't do this. I said wait. What the hell is this? Are you trying to say it's my fault the temps keep quitting?
To be honest, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. It is my strong belief that your inappropriate behavior towards our temporary staff is the primary reason for their early departures from the company.
Well, you're wrong. I never meant to make anyone quit. Besides, what did I do wrong? This is just how people are with temps and newbies in the workplace. If I didn't put them in their place, they'd get too big for their boots, and then everyone would suffer. I did it for the good of the company.
In what ways is your behavior for the good of the company, Yolande? Your department is already chronically understaffed as it is, so please explain to me in what way viciously bullying new and temporary employees, on whose shoulders the future of the company rests, into quitting possibly benefits the company. To the contrary, I put it to you that your childish and irresponsible behavior, which you engaged in for nothing more than your own sick self-satisfaction, has done nothing but damage to the company.
Well, that.
Do you have any examples of the company suffering negatively due to the effects of new or temporary employees getting too big for their boots? Is there something wrong with them being able to do their job in a comfortable, stress-free work environment?
Well, don't they just make you sick? Seeing those filthy low IQ temp workers being treated the same as me, despite the fact that they could never dream to become a full-timer like I am, makes my blood boil. I am a full-time employee, do you hear me? Full-time! How can you expect a company to succeed when a bunch of wet behind-the-ears little brats can just waltz in off the street and get treated the same, and those of us who worked and slaved away for countless years get a full-time contract?
So what you're saying, Yolande, is that this is purely a matter of your feelings. You claim you did it all for the company, but really, that's what it comes down to, right? This company's valued employees are not your playthings.
Wait, hang on a sec. So let me get this straight. You're telling me those filthy, good-for-nothing temps are more important to you than me? Someone on a full-time contract?
Yes, actually. In a choice between you, who spends all of your time either bullying your coworkers, palming your work onto them, or just being generally useless, and the hardworking young staff and temporary workers you made quit, the latter wins every time.
What the heck? That's so messed up. Are you looking down on me? You are, aren't you? Get off your high horse, you pompous, old corporate hag. You're not better than anyone.
Actually, I put it to you that you're the one who looks down on people. Do you still not get it?
Get what?
You understand what happens to you when I hand in that dossier tomorrow, don't you? This company has no need for an employee who upsets the atmosphere and makes quality staff feel like they have no choice but to quit. Here's an interesting one for you. What if we didn't leave it there? What if I and the rest of the employees you bullied relentlessly took you to court for harassment?
What? You wouldn't.
All of my things you broke, my clothes you drenched in water, the bracelet you stole, not to mention the huge record of chat logs I have of you abusing and slandering me. What if I printed those out? Then, to top it all off, what if I submitted the footage of you stealing all the things from my locker to the court? I'm fully prepared to speak to the parent company's in-house lawyer if that's what I need to do.
No, wait. Please don't do anything drastic. Surely, there's no need to go making such a big deal out of this. Can't we just talk this through like adults, babe? We can, right?
Since when do you call me babe, Yolande? I'm not your subordinate, and I'm not your friend.
No, well, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I didn't mean it.
I have no interest in hearing your apologies. You'll be attending a court of inquiry over the coming days. All we'll be needing from you is to hear your version of events and for you to answer our questions. You'll probably receive instruction to make your way to the parent company HQ shortly. We look forward to seeing you there.
No, please wait. Please. Won't you just hear me out here instead? Why do we have to do an inquiry? I'm really sorry. I mean it. I'll never do it again. I swear. I'll never be mean to anyone again for as long as I live. I'm begging you.
Whether you beg me or not makes no difference. Your fate is in the hands of the dismissals board now. All I'm going to do is report by name the employee responsible for causing me and the other staff discomfort and distress, based on the things I saw and heard during my time conducting my investigation at the company.
No, why won't you listen to me? Seriously, I'm begging you. Just stop. Do you have any idea how mad my dad will be with me if I lose this job? I'm super sorry.
In terms of being a decent human being, sorry is a good start. But this goes beyond that now, and will be dealt with through the proper channels. We haven't known each other long, but it's been interesting to meet you, Yolande. I suspect we'll be meeting again shortly. Goodbye for now.
No, wait, please wait. Just give me another minute. Please, don't do this.
Within a few days, a court of inquiry was opened at corporate HQ. Yolande, her boss, and all three of her lackeys were all summoned and asked a sequence of questions. When the articles of evidence I submitted were presented, Yolande and her partners in crime's faces turned as white as sheets. After that, To my surprise, surplus evidence was presented which proved Yolande to be guilty of misappropriation of corporate funds over a several-year period. With that, she had so little color left in her face, we thought she might actually faint. She received a disciplinary discharge in the end, and all 3 of her lackeys took pay cuts and demotions. To add insult to injury, after she lost her job, all of her victims banded together to file criminal charges against her and take her to court. Things are still in the preliminary proceeding stage, but whether they settle outside of court or end up taking it all the way, she's set to lose an awful lot of money. Let this episode serve as a reminder. In some form or other, this is the fate that awaits all who bully and victimize those they perceive to be weaker than themselves. Hopefully, Yolande uses the experience as an opportunity to become a better person. As for me, thanks to the role I played in today's events, I received both a pay rise and a promotion. I was able to claim for the things that got broken on company expenses. Also, I was showered with gratitude by the other staff Yolande has been bullying, and one of them even bought me a box of chocolates. It was when I saw the relieved smiles on their faces that I knew I did the right thing in tolerating her abuse for long enough to damn her to rights. I'm not going to let this make me complacent, though. I know I still have a lot to learn and a long way to go at this company, and I intend to work as hard as I can to fulfill my potential.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Pasqua, something terrible has happened.
Hi, Alfonso. Aren't you supposed to be at work?
The company went bankrupt.
What? What in the world happened?
When I went to the company today, there's strangely a morning assembly held. The CEO came himself and told everybody that the company went bankrupt.
What? But did you hear anything about this prior? There was nothing wrong, right?
I thought there was nothing wrong as well. Apparently no one knew about it, but there were a lot of problems happening in the background.
I see. That's a shame.
I'm so sorry, Pasqua. How will I provide for you now?
Why are you apologizing? It's not like it's your fault the company went bankrupt, right?
Well, yeah. I had a lot of office work to take care of this week, so I just went to the office as usual and worked my regular hours. I guess I'm gonna have to find a new job next week. I'm glad we have some money saved.
Don't feel too bad about yourself. It's not like I don't work as well, so we should be fine for the time being.
Thanks. I wouldn't know what I would do without you, Pasqua. I'll tell you about it in detail when I get home.
Yep, got it. I'll make some of your favorite food for dinner today to cheer you up. Pasqua, did you hear that Alfonso's company went bankrupt? Are you home right now? Yes, I heard about it. It's quite unfortunate, but Alfonso couldn't do anything about it. It's just bad luck. And yes, I'm at home right now, in my room on our area of the house. What? What are you doing not working when your husband is in trouble? You should be ashamed as his wife. What? But I do work, actually. In your situation, people would think to find a job and work until at least their husband finds a new one. But I said I was working. I'm going to start work soon, too. How many times do I have to tell you? Just moving around your mouse and clicking your keyboard in the room is not going to make you money. I'm older than you, but I can still understand at least the fact that what you're saying is a lie. You're not actually working, are you? That again. But in today's age, people can actually earn money just by moving around your mouse and clicking their keyboard in their room. I know we share this house with you and your husband, but if you don't respect the fact that I work from home, then it's going to be quite an inconvenience for me. Please respect that I make money just like Alfonso does. You're lying again. Just shut up already and find a job, won't you? At least until Alfonso finds a new job. I said I already do have a job, and it involves working in front of a computer. The bakery nearby is hiring employees, I saw. Why don't you go and apply? You make good apple pie, right? Sorry, but I've got deadlines that are approaching, so goodbye. Pasqua, I'm not messing around.
Don't you feel like you have a responsibility to help your husband at least a little bit? You're a failure of a wife. Divorce my son immediately. I don't need a wife like you who's just a dead weight around the house. Besides, there are plenty of other women that Alfonso could marry. My son is both handsome and smart, so he'll find a new wife as soon as he divorces you. You understand that much? We don't need you here. I can't focus on my work when you keep sending me notifications like that. Unless you go and find a job right now, then I'm going to keep bothering you like this. I understand. Fine. I'm going to leave. What? What do you mean you're going to leave? I can't focus on my job, so I'll go somewhere else. Actually, I'll go to my parents' house since they understand that I work from home and respect that fact, even though they're the same age as you. I see. So you're going to return to your parents' house? Yes. I can't focus while I'm here because you keep bothering me. Fine. Then don't come back. I take this to mean that you're going to divorce Alfonso as well. All right. I'll tell him.
Pasqua? I just came home and you weren't here. Mom said something about you divorcing me, too. Just what the hell was she talking about?
I'm not divorcing you. I just left because I couldn't focus since your mother kept bothering me saying to find a job when I already have one.
Where did you go? You said you were going to be really busy today because you had multiple deadlines coming up, right?
Oh, yeah. I did have a lot of work to do today. I'm currently in my parents' house, by the way.
What? Seriously?
Sorry I didn't contact you sooner. I'll be back as soon as I'm done with work.
Jesus. Mother bothered you again with your work?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. She said something about how moving my mouse around and clicking my keyboard isn't going to make money, and to find a job because your company just went bankrupt and you're currently unemployed until you can find a new job. I just couldn't put up with the constant notifications she kept sending to me by text. So I decided to go to my parents' house since they're more understanding of the work I do.
Again, I'm so sorry about my mother. She has a very old-fashioned way of thinking.
Well, it's not like I'm not used to it by now. Anyways, I'll be here until I finish the work I need to do. I'll probably be there by tomorrow.
All right, got it. But I see. She's telling you to work until I find a new job, huh? I wonder what she's up to.
What's the matter? What do you mean, I wonder what she's up to?
Oh, nothing. I just thought it was strange for my mother to say such things when she herself barely does anything around the house. By the way, there's something very important I need to tell you. You see, one of the companies who mostly just works for our company also went bankrupt, and that company is where my father works.
What? So does that mean your father is currently unemployed as well?
Yep. Apparently he was told about the bankruptcy out of nowhere yesterday as well. I went to the job finding center today and the two of us ran into each other. I was surprised, but it was a bit awkward after that.
I see. That's really unfortunate. Hopefully your dad is able to find a new job soon as well. The whole family is in trouble now, I guess.
By the way, I think he's probably telling Mom about the bankruptcy right now.
Oh, so does that mean...
Yep, I guess we're gonna have to see how Mother reacts to it. After all, she has been a housewife ever since she got married. But she told you that the wife should support their husband by getting a job at times like this, right? I wonder if she's gonna stick to her own words or was just trying to bully you.
Pasqua, please answer my calls. There's something important I need to tell you. Would you please just come back to our house? Everyone in our family is now unemployed because apparently my husband's company also went bankrupt. I don't quite understand the work you do, but if it's true that you do make money, prove it by providing for me and my husband while he finds a new job. If you do that, I'll appreciate the fact that you do actually have a job.
Hello, Pasqua. I heard from Mom that she sent you some texts. She was saying something weird, right?
Yeah. She said something about I can prove that I actually have a job by providing for me and my husband. What happened to the wife supporting the husband in times like this? I guess she really was just being mean to me after all this time.
I'm so sorry about this. I know you're busy with work right now.
It's all right. I just finished with work, actually. I did the last few things I needed to do and read your mother's text 10 minutes ago.
I see. I guess I'm glad that you're finished with work, but I'm so sorry. I think we're gonna have a bit more problems concerning my mother.
What's wrong? Is she up to something?
Yes, she's heading to your parents' house right now, apparently.
What? She's coming to our house? What's she going to do to me now?
I don't know, but she said something about how she has to take you home to get Dad to forgive her. That wasn't really why Dad was mad, though. Dad got mad because she told you to support for the two of them. When she said herself that the wife should support the husband during times like this, but wants to just make you work for them. You don't have to open the front door for her, all right? Oh, and I think you'll probably be surprised when you see her, so I'll tell you in advance. My father got furious at my mom for not being understanding of your work, so he slapped her in the face with all his strength.
What? He slapped her in the face? Wow. He must have been really mad, huh? I've never seen your dad physically hurt your mom.
Yep, he was furious. I haven't seen him this mad since I was a child, but that's unrelated. I'm pretty sure that when my mother gets there, her face is going to be red and swelling.
All right. I'm not going to let her in our house then. I kind of feel bad for her that your dad slapped her, so I'll just leave an ice pack in front of the entrance.
All right, thanks, I guess. Just try to ignore her, all right? Don't let her inside the house no matter what. I don't know what she's going to do because she's desperate now.
I'm so sorry, Pasqua. I was wrong for saying that you didn't actually have a job. Huh? So you finally changed your attitude towards my job? You're not just saying that to make me trust you, are you? Of course not. I swear to God. I really do feel bad for saying that you didn't actually have a job until now. Forgive an old woman who knows nothing about gadgets, will you? It just looked to me like you were playing those video games like my son Alfonso sometimes does. Anyways, I apologize to you now, so can we go home? You didn't see it, but I even got on my knees. Oh, are you at our front door? I left an ice pack for you so you can use it to stop the swelling on your face. I can see you from the intercom, but that must have hurt really bad, didn't it? I feel bad that your husband hit you like that, so I left an ice pack on the front door for you to use. I already used it. I'm so thankful that you were kind enough to do something like this for me. So come out now, please, so we can go home. Why don't we just settle our differences there? I know. I'll make your favorite food for dinner. Oh, that sounds wonderful. But I'm not going to be going home yet, I'm afraid. Huh? You made me apologize on my knees just to say that you won't come home with me? But, mother-in-law, what you're saying and what you're doing are contradicting each other. Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean I'm contradicting myself? My husband said that too, but I didn't get what he was saying at all. You said that the wife should get a job and provide for the family until the husband finds a new one, right? But your husband is in fact currently in the process of finding a new job, but you didn't even think of getting a job like you yourself told me. Not only did you suddenly come to my parents' house to take me home, but you also told me to provide for you and your husband to prove that I actually have a job? Huh? But you already have a job of your own, and I'm just a poor old woman who hasn't had a job in over 30 years. I can't possibly find a job now, can I? Your husband was probably already mad when you made fun of my work like that and said I didn't actually have a job. But he was probably furious when you told me to provide for the both of you. Life isn't that easy, mother-in-law. People need to work to earn their place in this world. It seems that you had a pretty easy life as a housewife until now. But why not think of it like this? This is finally your chance to give back to your husband, who worked to support the two of you until now, even if it's only until he finds a new job. Nothing is going to change even if I return home, because it's your way of thinking that's wrong, mother-in-law. Huh? Do you realize what you're saying right now? You're telling me to find a job when I've been a housewife for over 30 years. Do you think that finding a job is just so easy? I think that's why you were probably slapped by your husband. You expect other people to do things when you yourself refuse to do it. Huh? What do you mean? Even if it is difficult to find a job, I think the fact that you're trying to find one is itself important. Fine. Just come home, will you? We can talk about it there. That's our biggest priority right now. Do your duty as your husband's wife and provide for us at a time of need like this. Please just go home already. Huh? What did you say to me? After I got on my knees and apologized to you? Your son Alfonso told me himself that I should just ignore you. I probably shouldn't have had this conversation with you on text, too. I mean, you have no intention of understanding after all. No, I won't allow it. I need to bring you home with me or my husband is not going to forgive me. That's not why he's mad at you. You really have no intention of understanding, do you? Pasqua, I'm sorry. I was wrong. So just come home and do what you always did in your room, all right? Please stop ringing the doorbell. You look like a crazy person right now. Do you want us to call the cops on you or not?
Hi, Pasqua. I think I found a new job I'm going to be getting. But there's something I want to ask you about before that.
Sure. What's on your mind?
I asked our former client to hire me out of desperation, and apparently they were short on employees in D-City. D-City is a bit too far away to go from our current home, so I think we're going to have to move if I get that job.
All right. Moving is fine with me.
What? That's it? You're just going to agree suddenly?
I mean, I work from home anyway, so it doesn't really matter where I live.
Oh, that's right. I guess what you say is true. But I was surprised because I didn't expect you to just agree like that.
Besides, I'm also glad that I won't have to live with your parents anymore.
Yeah. Speaking of my parents, there's something I want to tell you. My mom and dad got divorced.
What? Seriously? I know they got into a fight, but was Dad really that mad?
Dad gave Mom divorce papers he had already signed. Mom thought he was just bluffing apparently and signed it saying, "Turn it in if you want to." And so Dad went to the city hall this morning and turned them in.
I see. So your dad must have been really mad with your mom, huh?
Oh, and there's something I want to ask you relating to that as well. Could we let Dad come with us? Of course, Mom wouldn't be coming. And he's not going to live with us in the same apartment anymore. He's just going to live nearby.
So does that mean that your dad will be living on his own?
Yep, don't worry about him. He seems to be looking forward to being single again. He can take care of things on his own. So no need to worry about that as well.
Is that so?
If you're fine with Dad, then I'm going to tell Dad to find a job in D-City as well.
Sure, that sounds like a good idea. Your dad is a great person after all. It looks like the three of us are heading to a brighter future.
Yep, thanks for agreeing. I'll go and tell Dad about it then. I'll contact you later, all right?
Yep. See you later, Alfonso. Hey, Pasqua! What? Is this Alfonso's mother? Hello, mother-in-law. What do you mean, hello? How can you just calmly reply to me like that? Where the hell did you guys go? What are you going to do if I tell you? I heard that you went to your parents' house after you got divorced from your husband. Huh? What do you mean, what am I going to do? Why can't I come to where you guys are? Alfonso is my son and you're his wife, so that means I'm your family. I thought my husband had calmed down already, so I decided to come back home when... Oh, yeah. Your ex-husband said that he was going to sell the house. You see, the three of us moved. Me, your son, and your ex-husband. What did you say? Why in the world didn't you tell me anything about this? Oh, sorry, I guess we forgot to tell you. As for Alfonso and his father, I don't know. Don't ask me that. Where did you guys move? That's private information, so I'm not going to tell you. Besides, you're probably just going to come here and bang on our doors just like you did at my parents' house last time. Oh, so does that mean that it's nearby? Let me guess. You guys moved to the town next to ours. Just tell me, or else. Or else? Sorry, mother-in-law, but you can't do anything to us anymore. Oh, I almost forgot. What is it? There's no reason for me to keep you unblocked anymore, right? I only kept you unblocked until now because I was afraid as to what you might do if I completely shut you out. But now that we moved to where there's no chance of you finding us, I guess that doesn't matter anymore. Huh? What in the world are you talking about? What? So are you going to block me now or something? I'm your mother-in-law. That's family. Are you really going to be that cold of a person, Pasqua? Sorry, I'm just not a very kind person. Okay, I'm going to block you now. Goodbye, mother-in-law. I don't know if we're ever going to see each other again. Pasqua, wait! What do you mean you might never see me again? But what about my son, Alfonso? My son! Who knows? Maybe your son will be a bit kinder than me and forgive you in the future. But as for now, he says he doesn't want to see you anymore. Sorry. I told Alfonso and his father I got a text from my mother-in-law. I showed them our conversation. Apparently, they found my replies hilarious. LOL. Quite a bit of time passed after that, but I heard from an acquaintance that even though my mother-in-law went home to her parents' house after she got divorced, she refused to do any work and just laid around all day. So her parents, now in their 90s, kicked her out. Now that she couldn't even go back to her parents' house, which she thought she could go back to anytime she wanted up until then, she truly had nowhere left to go and had no choice but to get a job and provide for herself from now on. She visited the job finding center and found a job that, although was not that high paying, came with housing. But her personality is still the same as always, so it was no surprise when we heard that she was always just alone at work or at home. But since she herself doesn't understand why people are always avoiding her, she probably isn't going to be changing anytime soon and will remain alone. Me and Alfonso, on the other hand, went back to our lives, which for obvious reasons were more peaceful than it had been before. Alfonso's father seems to be getting by as well. He was able to find a job fairly quickly and is now even the proud owner of a dog. Sometimes we see him taking a walk with his dog in the neighborhood, and he always greets us with a smile on his face. I kind of feel sorry for Alfonso's mother, but it looks like her husband is enjoying his new life without her.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.